I'm very stressed about a lot of things going on right now.
There, can we just where do we even start? Where do we start? Do we talk about Black people? Do we talk about orange people? Do we talk about the death and the resurgence of TikTok? There's so much.
He has risen, baby girl.
He has risen. Can we as millennials stop having historical moments? Y'all, I'm tired.
I'm tired. I've had enough.
This shit's too much. It's too much. Okay, let's start with TikTok, because there are so many different things that I want to talk about in the era of TikTok, in the ridiculousness of TikTok, and in the lack of empathy of TikTok.
Oh my God.
Love, like the amount. Okay, first of all, I want to start with all of those that I don't know if you saw the trend of all these content creators who are like, well, since TikTok is going away, there's one thing
Let me air out my dirty laundry.
Let me air out my dirty laundry. All of these fitness instructors that's like, let me tell you, I actually have a BBL. So there's no way you could have ever gotten here. All of these people that were like, oh, hey, the reason why so-and-so and I don't talk anymore is because we actually dated, and that's why we're not making content anymore. Literally all of these people airing out their dirty laundry. And the ban lasted 11 hours.
And I just want to say a public message. This is why you need to follow real folks and let's build up platforms of real folks, because we just allowed people to play us for 5 years on fitness, on coffee, on relationship. I'm sick of it.
There was someone who, like, I guess his big thing was like going and finding rare squishmallows or something. And his was like, oh, I didn't actually find them in stores. I bought them online, planted them, and then recorded my videos. The way people fucking canceled this guy, they were livid. They were livid.
I guess people really care about their squishmallows, huh?
They just really care about this. Well, I mean, it's like the Pokemon thing. Like, imagine if it was like this, because Pokemon has like a resurgence now. Everyone's doing their little unboxing Pokemon
trading cards, the Pokemon
trading cards.
Yeah.
I don't get it necessarily. Or rather, I get Pokemon. Obviously, I'm a millennial. I understand that. I just don't get this resurgence. I don't get where people are like making their money, or like I don't know what's happening. Once we open the cards, once we find the rare ones, what then? Do we just have Pokemon cards? Like, is that?
I mean, I get it as if you're a collectible sense, but I think that, because like the same way how people collect Funkos and have their Funko walls, but I think the thing is,
I mean, Funkos take up so much space.
They do. I thought I was going to be collecting some, and then I'm like, I'm just going to be cool with like the 5 I have, and that's cool. But the thing is like, I think because content started to become a thing, and like,
and they're so specific. They are so fucking, like, I'm looking at them. I got 8 Funkos, and they are so specific to who I am that if I got a Funko, I would throw it away. Just that.
Fair. What if someone gifted you a Funko of yourself? Are you keeping that?
It would depend, because that's permanent, right? Like, the design is what it is. There's no like, you can't like pop it off like a Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. Know.
You can't. You can't just pick any old red carpet outfit. You got to pick the right one.
I'm wearing wigs, bro. I mean, which Jasmine am I getting? You know, like, which version of me? Which version of me are you giving me? What are you trying to say? Yeah, I don't know about that.
I feel that.
Funko Hollywood, and you can build your own Funko. I got my friend Brian.
Yeah.
I don't know if you met Brian, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I did.
Yeah, NYC. Yeah, so Brian, I made him a Funko, but I took him. him to the store. Like, we got his.
He could get the pick.
We did the whole Shazam, but that's real bold of you to say you can immortalize me in Funko. Like, you could do that. Really?
True. That's true.
You know me that way.
But this whole thing with the TikTok, man, fam, I knew it wasn't gonna last. I didn't think we would be ridiculous enough for it to last not even 24 hours. I expected a cool week, maybe even 3 days, but 14 hours before we got it back.
Half that time we were asleep. Can I tell you? So the reason why I didn't do all of this ridiculous, as our lives change,
you can find me on Instagram.
Remember all the good times. Like, bruh, the reason I didn't do any of that was because I knew this shit was not going to last. This is a publicity stunt, but also a little pettiness. So about 3 years ago, me and Anthony, when I was like hype in TikTok, and when I was dropping videos like every gosh damn day, Anthony and I went to Paris and we got a bottle of expensive champagne that we were going to pop when I hit 500,000. And right now I've been at like I've been at 460, like 465, like teetering around that rate for like 3 years because I haven't really been putting my effort into TikTok anymore. But I was like, am I really going to have to pop open? Is TikTok gone for real? Like, I was mad. I was like, this has been sitting in my fridge for 3 years. And I'm about to open it in defeat. Nah, TikTok ain't going away. TikTok is not going away because I'm gonna open up that champagne at 500,000. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So in my mind, I was like, they're not, like, I was sitting there, I was like, it ain't going away.
It's not going anywhere. Jasmine, it's off your phone. I don't care. It's not going.
No. And you know what's even worse is as much as I'm mad at TikTok going away, I'm upset that CapCut still isn't back. Can you tell me why CapCut still is not back?
So I can, to a degree. Some of this is theory.
I'll take any degree.
So, first of all, for anyone who didn't know, there were more than just TikTok, the app in the TikTok ban.
Marvel Rivals too?
Marvel Snap. Marvel Rivals might be in trouble. It might be in trouble though. So Adam, he's not here with us. He's enjoying a game in Atlanta, but he talked about the CapCut being a ban because owned by ByteDance. So there.
Wait. This affects me now? Hold on.
For working with us to bring availability back to the U.S. I ain't liked how the CEO kind of been eating on Trump too, because again,
he's not. If you go,
that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
TikTok, he took CEO out of his bio and started following a bunch of right wingers.
So that goes into answer your question of why isn't CapCut back? People are saying because Trump is not the president yet. He's not even been inaugurated at the time of us recording this. He probably will be by the time Jasmine puts it out.
By the time he uploads it, he'll be programmed.
Them saying that they are working with Trump is while he is a private citizen. That means there are backdoor negotiations. And people are thinking this is TikTok has kind of prepared the server switch, essentially. A lot of people are talking about how the FYP is not fully the same.
It's not.
They think that they are preparing whatever joint venture or selling of some kind, but taking the original algorithm. The CEO doesn't have CEO in his bio anymore. So people are thinking that TikTok is low key. Maybe they didn't full on sell, but they have divested in some way.
What that got to do with CapCut not being there?
Because again, this is only TikTok that's working with Trump. The ban still exists, and the ban includes anything owned by ByteDance.
See, so they're only negotiating TikTok. That's
because again, it's about America owning a piece of it.
No. I edit this podcast in my desktop version of CapCut. How am I gonna get this up? Like stuff like, come on. Like
She said I edit this in CapCut. What do I do?
I gotta go back to Premiere. That shit takes forever.
And if that shit crash, you lose it.
Everything is gone. But going back just a little bit, the empathy of it all, because like that was my biggest out of all the bullshit. The amount of people who, and I don't know if it's your side, but even people in my family is just like, they were not cute about it. They were very much like, oh, I guess you're going to have to go get a real job now, as if I hadn't put my entire life and soul into content creating. Like during the pandemic, all of these people devoured our content. We were your source of
entertainment, news, and information,
education, all of this. What we are doing matters. This is the new form of media, and it's the same way of people way back in the day that's like, that radio ain't gonna work. What is that? What is all this crazy? Like, they hate everything. They hated radio. They hated television. They thought all of that was a joke. And now here we are providing you with entertainment, education, and a service. And half of these people, they watch these Desperate Housewives, and that's your favorite show. While
it's the same shit.
At the same time talking shit about these people, talking about how they don't do shit. And it's like, but you consume the media. It's something that entertains you and takes you out of this tragedy that is the world.
Yes. And so I would like to say I will give props to someone else had posted about how they at least loved all of the love between creators and users on TikTok for each other. Like as far as like, yo, like I wouldn't know you if it wasn't for TikTok. There are so many wonderful friends that I've made who I genuinely care about your well-being
Yeah.
that you were a stranger on the internet at one point.
I
And the
will
lack of
say,
empathy.
there
Yeah, go
was a
ahead.
lot of people that threw me. Again, I didn't make a goodbye, but I was
Yeah.
in a lot of
You
goodbyes.
got tagged, yeah.
I got tagged in so many, and when I posted my like the furthest that I went was I took a screenshot of my TikTok before it went down, posted it on my stories, and was like goodbye to my largest platform. And because that is a reality, that is
Yeah.
500,000 got me into movie premieres, 500,000 got me into
40K.
bruh. 40K got you all of the deals here where you're Elgato. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it got you all the work that you're doing now, and that's just gone. Like it
Yeah.
just out of nowhere, it's just gone. But I loved that I was in a bunch of people's, like when I posted my thing on my stories, my screenshot on my stories, I had so many people dropping into my DMs. Like my DMs were filled with people being like, I followed you since you were putting up balloons on your wall whenever you hit like a K. Like
Yeah.
10K, you would buy balloons, you would put those up there every time you hit. They were
Mhm.
like, I followed you since then. I was like, damn, you followed me
There's some
since.
people who really been keeping up with you, and it's crazy.
And I'm like, but I don't think about that. You know, I'm living my life. I'm struggling day to day. I'm
On to
struggling
the next thing,
hour to
next
hour.
job.
It's not that I don't care about all of these people who gave me the platform. It's just I know that they have their lives, I have my lives, and so I can't think of that tiny, you know, the one out of the millions of followers. It's hard for me to think of every individual one until they're right in front of my face saying thank you, and then I'm like, oh, I just want to sit there and I want to talk to you forever. You know, I just
Yeah.
that
The
ignites
reality sets in
it's
because
the
you don't get to
reality,
sit and
it's
share
that flash
it in
battery
the
moment.
moment.
It's that suction of just like, you know, like, oh my God, you are not just a nameless person. You're someone who I care about.
Mhm.
And I got that over and over and over again. And so if anything, the TikTok ban brought me back to reality and brought me back to center. And I appreciate it
Yeah.
for that.
Needed that because again, like you said, the people who lack so much empathy. Another guy who I was watching, he talked about, people were saying, you shouldn't just be relying on social media. You should have a real job or whatever. And I think it was Malcolm who actually said it. He was like, no one says that about a 9 to 5. No one tells you you should have a backup job in case your 9 to 5 just decides you're gone tomorrow. So it's really interesting to watch people say, well, you shouldn't have put all your eggs in social media. I understand putting all your eggs in TikTok because there are some people who did refuse to use any other platform,
Yeah.
refuse to branch out, refuse to find other ventures. And even still, you can have empathy for those people because I'll say for me, I put in a video, I tried like back in 2022 when they first were talking about banning. I have tried to port people over from TikTok, be on all pages. Everything just hasn't been as successful. My TikTok honestly hasn't even really grown for a long time until this year. And it is what it is, and that happens to people. And so for every person that you see blow up and like successfully port people from their TikTok to their YouTube or TikTok to their Twitch, there's hundreds, if not thousands of us who that doesn't happen for. And it's not cool to just be like, well, you should just get a real job. For anyone watching this, Jasmine didn't even know this about me. She sees me post so much. I work a 9 to 5 office job and am a dad and still post every single day. It was at least one video a day. I've been doing 3 videos a day for the better part of a month. And, there's people who don't
I'm
see
in
that,
2025 with the ground, like just ground running.
especially with this TikTok ban. I really was worried and I'm like, I got to do something.
Did you feel people moving over to your other platforms at all? Did you see any kind of growth?
Within these past few days, I think I've had, when the app got banned, I feel like I got 10 new people on Instagram. Like Instagram was so stagnant and then all of a sudden 10 new people came. And I'm just like,
Hey, I'll
I'm
take it.
also
I'll
I'm
take it.
also just done being afraid to just ask because the thing is that not only do people make you feel weird about asking, but these platforms do as well. Every video I've put that had TikTok in the caption or in the text has been suppressed on Instagram.
Yeah.
Anytime I mention Instagram on TikTok, it's suppressed. But you know what?
I know even now they're
Again,
suppressing when you put a clock in it because that's like the new get.
really?
Yeah. If you put like and then the emoji of a clock app, people like that's if they're any and every way to suppress this app. Like the way
Yeah.
that
And
word is like fuck any other app but mine.
And it sucks for us as creators because then they basically try to force you to rely on it, and you don't want to.
Did you know Instagram dropped a new
That's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you for reminding me. Everything, this is how you know. I don't know if like Meta and Twitter, if they necessarily knew that Trump would negotiate to get it back, but they were prepared for TikTok to go away. Twitter just announced a videos tab that you just can scroll through. Meta changed the Instagram layout to match TikTok's and then dropped the edits app because they said, oh, all y'all can't use CapCut. Come on over and use edits.
Come into my bosom, baby. Come back.
Fuck you, Zuckerberg. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Fuck you, Zuckerberg. Fuck you, anyone who tries to mess with, like, that was our
People's lives.
People's lives and like their small businesses. It's everything. Everything was in that app, and I just find it's, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the LA fires, literally, that are still going on. All of these people who were like, fuck the rich, eat the rich, I'm glad your house is burning, as if that's the only thing that LA is. As if LA is just a bunch of rich fucking celebrities. And also, fuck you for that. Because those celebrities worked hard for those homes, and all you're doing is crucifying them because they have things that you want. But that's the same thing with TikTok. It's like, fuck you for just dancing on an app. No, it's more than just a dancing app. It's a place where you learn about politics, where you learn about schooling, where people like myself are able to express themselves in a safe space and in a community, and you find your community, and I'm able to pay for my house and home and fucking food with this app. And it's just crazy. Like, just because this wasn't something that worked for you, you want to denigrate and belittle people for finding their own way through life using TikTok.
The last scary thing I do want to say, I don't know if you saw.
Doubt it.
My gosh, this is where this is not good.
What are you showing me?
You cannot even search the word fascism on TikTok anymore. People are searching for info on Palestine, the LA wildfires, and even the Holocaust, and being told to look out for information. We're watching censorship and propaganda in real time. You literally get no search results. That's why people are saying the algorithm is changing.
Why the LA fires?
Because again, we've used TikTok as a tool to boost information that people aren't talking about. The LA fires, mainstream media was having headlines about Black people looting when really it was Black people helping their relatives and friends move stuff out of their house. But on TikTok was where we were getting the messages of how y'all were coming together as a community, where y'all were meeting up to do food donations and everything. Again, it goes back to they've not been able to control the narrative on TikTok, and now they want to.
Okay, I don't know what they were searching. I just Googled Palestine and Gaza. And
you got something?
Yeah.
Could be that the app was broken whenever it came back. But yeah, people were posting these screenshots, and I got real worried. I was like, okay, listen now.
Let me Google
fascism. Oh, it says if they did do an update, if you search fascism now, the videos do pop up, but they don't seem to be made by any Americans. So if you click on the videos, a lot of them are international videos.
Nah, I'm seeing a lot of Americans.
Well, then everybody's just wrong.
Girl, I don't know. No, what I think it is the mass hysteria. I think that was a little bit of sheep mentality. Everyone wants to be the one that gets
to break the news.
But it literally, TikTok was very clear that it's got to restart the servers. Like, when it came back, it wasn't going to come back fresh and pretty. They turned
True, it might not be able to pull all the video history, because again, it's trillions upon trillions of videos at this point.
Yes, like give it a second to breathe. This app was on for 10 years, I think. This was way back. What was it before?
Because technically, musically, yeah, it is 10 years old.
We turned that bitch off, and she said, oh, thank you. She said, oh. And
it's gonna take me a minute to kick back up. Yes. I only got an 11-hour break. What you talking about, man? But hey, TikTok might. Well, if they reach a deal, TikTok might be here for Superman.
I got so much content I want to do for Superman, for Lois, for all of these other, for Daredevil. Let's talk about Daredevil coming back. I want to, the way, can I tell you? So, okay. Do you know Ben Watts? He's IGN.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Ben and I were hanging out a few days ago. We were we were doing something at 6 a.m. in the morning, and that's when the trailer dropped, right?
Oh, were you watching it in the corner again?
hold on. So here I am, being my petty self, being like, oh, you can go and watch that. I saw that at CinemaCon. I already know what it is. I saw that at D23. I already
Oh, look at
know.
you.
Meanwhile, I'm like on the corner of my eye, just like, I'm seeing new shit. I'm seeing things I had. I said, Ben, get over here. I said, what is that? The way that the action, I didn't see that before.
The end of the trailer was crazy.
I said Netflix. I said,
My
whoa.
knee hurt when he dropped on that dude's knee.
Made me feel, because that is what I loved about Daredevil. Number one, I am so excited for that steady cam, whatever the steady cam, the Daredevil steady cam shot. I think it was like on the stairs one time.
Yeah, they did that.
That's like their signature thing, is that
Mm-hmm.
that steady, just non-moving one shot of him just fucking beating people. I'm so excited for that.
I think it's funny that became its own iconic thing after that first season of Daredevil.
Yes, and they put it in the next season, and they keep bringing it back. That is the number one thing I am so excited for.
It's a very good artistic choice.
Bruh, just in general, the devil never sleeps, man. I am so ready for them to amplify and to get raw, because that's the whole thing about these street levels. Like, as triumphant as these larger Galactus style battles, it's all like fluff. It's all soft. As crazy as Thanos was snapping, like, even the fights felt jelly. They felt bubblegum. But when you get down to the street level fights, this is like street. We just fucking fighting. We just put.
They're not playing no games.
We are not playing, because then it's real. It becomes less fantastical, and it becomes more fucking back alley. This is you hearing the gunshots in LA and you closing your windows. You know, like, it's real.
It's what the real people really deal with, the regular humans. And like, the thing that I always loved about the Netflix shows was how they would talk about, like, I remember in the first Daredevil season, is like, yeah, I can't just go fly off with my hammer after everything's said and done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is literally, you're seeing the layer that, unfortunately, it feels like the Avengers and everything don't think about. And I think that's a lot of what people have had a problem with when it comes to Tom Holland Spider-Man, and the fact that they're really not talking as if they should just explore a Spider-Man Daredevil street level movie with that, because the whole thing of Spider-Man is you get to see the ground floor of the friendly neighborhood, and we've not seen that.
Or that the friendly neighborhood isn't that friendly. You know?
Exactly.
You might be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but the neighborhood ain't friendly.
Frank Castle in that trailer, though, needed him back.
Bring him back.
I love him.
He is the best Frank Castle. I go back to like the original. I don't know if you ever watched the Punisher movie that they did like back in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Seeing that Punisher versus this Punisher, like, there are some people who are just born to play roles.
When he got announced, I remember being like, him in The Walking Dead, I remember that. He's a great cast for Punisher, and he has been ever since.
And he was born to play this role. He was born to play, and he's someone like, because if I saw that man on the street, I would not want to be around him. That man is menace. That man is
like,
he's fucking
scary.
That man just and I think he's in The Bear. I don't know if you've seen him in The Bear. He plays the brother that committed suicide. In that, he's like softer. He's a little bit soft. Oh yeah, you didn't know? Yeah. No, so The Bear, I forget his whatever the main character's
I don't remember his name either. I've watched like the first 4 episodes.
But yeah, the main character, the reason why he comes back and like, you know, does all the cooking and whatever is because his brother dies. And his brother was the big thing, he committed suicide, and so he comes back, and like it's a whole thing of like, why did he do this? Where did he hide the money? And in that, he's a lot softer, but just broken, you know? And I think it's really interesting to see the dichotomy between the character he plays on The Bear and the Punisher, because these are two broken individuals. He plays a variety, you know, it's a nice dichotomy between the two, because you've got one man who's broken and ends his life, and another man who's broken and seeks vengeance.
Yeah.
And it's just so
it's the two ways it could go, I guess, you know?
The two ways, and it's just the way that he plays it is so beautiful. He's
people, the theories are he that looks like the face of a man who survived the snap. Or what if he didn't and he pops back up?
You got Barton that survived the snap and turned into fucking Ronin. Like, he went that way, you know?
He went apeshit. But
You went a little ape shit. You went a little
Daredevil trailer was really good. I mean, we don't even have that long till it comes out. What, less than 2 months?
less than.
Nice,
It comes out in
nice.
February, doesn't it? Or does it come out in March?
Yeah, no, March. I believe March.
Damn. So okay, so it's My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and then it's Daredevil.
Yes,
And we got
yes.
Invincible. You got Invincible in between that too. Invincible comes out February 6th. That's 2 weeks away. That one I'm so pumped for, the Invincible War.
And they said they're not doing a mid-season break this time, right?
No, we going straight through. 8 episodes. And the very first day we get 3 episodes. Very first day we get 3 episodes.
Ooh, oh, we're talking about that then for sure.
I'm so pumped. We are going literally. We're going to go back to back to back every week talking about Invincible, and I guess we could also talk about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on the next one too, because those are going to be two big chunkers. Woo!
We got a lot coming up. I mean, I know you sent like this list over. Mm-hmm. I will say,
what
some of these I'm like,
what? Which ones?
So I'm, especially after this past year, and we've talked about this too, like, because we just want to see new stories. I mean, Mufasa's probably getting a follow-up because it did so well. Like, it's always the remakes.
They already announced that they are making a Lion King 2. And we're like, is it Simba's Pride? We going to get
the only reason that bothers me is because, like how the top 10 movies for 2024 were mainly sequels and remakes.
They were all sequels.
It just worries me about the future of just getting new stories.
Yeah, but like, I'm also excited because we're getting the Odyssey, and that's mine.
I'm excited for that. That is that stacked cast because
as much as Barbie is my Barbie, the Odyssey is about to be my Barbie, bro.
Especially because Nolan just knows what he's doing. Obviously, Pattinson's in that, right?
Yeah,
he's going to be in that.
Zendaya.
I do want to see Mickey 17. It looks interesting.
You know what? Pattinson's a little weirdo. I fucking love Pattinson.
He really likes playing these really quirky roles.
He said, fuck Twilight. He said, I am done. You will not ever associate me with Twilight again. And he has really, but he's a great actor. He is. Even when he was doing Twilight, he was still knee deep in it. He was trying to find
He brought range to it, for real.
He brought range, but he also brought a little bit of ire. But the character that he was trying to build was separate from the character that Stephenie Meyer wanted, because she wanted her little fantasy Mormon vampire in her head. The way I could go so raw talking about the insides of Twilight. Like, it's just so fucking dumb. It's just that Stephenie Meyer.
So my cousin was really big into Twilight, and I remember when she like fell off on reading them because she said they started out being about her dreams, and then she started just trying to do her own thing, and she was like, and it just got weird.
Girl, the whole relationship from the first book to the very last book is less than 2 years. The entirety of the relationship, from the time that they met from the first book is like 3 months, and half that time nigga was gone. He was gone the entire duration of that book. Second book, he was gone for 6 months. The second book, he was gone for they did a whole, you could flip the pages. Is it September, October, November, December? A full thick chunk, this man was gone. And then he was gone the duration of the book. And she shows up in Italy to save his ass after not seeing him for 6 months. Their entire relationship in that 2-year span, he was not there. She got pregnant.
Her imagination. You know what I'm saying?
It was literally, the second book is just her imagining him and having
You feel a way about this? I awoke something.
Because I feel dumb. Because when I was a wee lad, I lavished that shit. I got for Christmas, I got a deluxe special fucking edition white cover of those books. Someone said, I knew you'd love this. And I said, yes, I would. And I have not opened them. It is still wrapped in the plastic. And it'll stay that way forever. I don't know if Twilight will ever depreciate in value. But if so, I'm going to be real sad. Because I've got so many collector editions of these books. And I feel like now it's just novelty.
Ain't they trying to remake that too?
Yeah, they are going to remake it. They're remaking that into a series.
Of course they are.
Can we talk about, I don't know how deep you are now that we're talking about bullshit. And it's still pop culture. Are you in the Blake Lively, Justin drama? How deep are you?
So
now
I'm not.
Justin has been brought into that. So now it is related to the shit we're talking about.
So I was not very deep in it, but I knew that it was going crazy when people outside of my internet circle, people in my family friend circle
Yeah.
started talking about it and saying it's popping up in mom Facebook groups. That's when you know
It's
the shit
so
getting real.
crazy.
But yeah, isn't like because now people are like technically Disney is like in it now.
Well, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't want to woman explain to you, but it's a
No,
bigger
go for it. I'd love to be woman's plain too.
so essentially just elevator pitch. Oh my god, where do I even start? So Justin Baldoni goes to Colleen Hoover and is like, hey, I love your book, I want to make this into a film. he's
Mhm.
he's got his own podcast where he talks about uplifting women. So he's Colleen Hoover knows about him and it's like, there's no one else I'd love for you to make this movie but you. Fast forward, he makes the movie. He hits up Blake Lively. He's like, hey, I want to make this movie. I think you'd be perfect for it. She says, great. He says, I'm directing it. We're both also going to be the leads. And she's like, wonderful. I'd love to produce. She produced. She throws a whole bunch of money in. Come to find out, she's like starting to make all these demands. She's like, I'm going to do my own wardrobe. I'm going to bring in my team of people. I'm going to do, she basically commandeers it. But he's like, okay, well, we're like halfway through production. I guess I'll just do what you want because you're putting in all the money. Essentially ends up taking a step back and is no longer really directing. Now Blake is essentially directing, and he's just like, I just really want to make this movie because I think it's important to the world, like, et cetera, et cetera. Then the marketing starts, and Blake's team and Sony and all of them are like, oh, we're gonna do florals and flowers. And Justin's like, this is a movie about domestic violence. I want to talk about that. I want to give people a safe space because that's what the movie's about. During the press tour, Blake starts advertising her hair products, her shampoo line, her wine, her alcohol, doesn't even talk about domestic violence. Meanwhile, Justin is talking about domestic violence because that's what the fucking movie is about. Blake starts doing the bring your flowers, bring your florals to the movies, doesn't even talk about it. So now they're two separate. Come to find out, Blake is like, you can't come to the premiere. If you do come to the premiere, you cannot be around me. I don't want to be around you. You're starting this whole smear campaign. Fucking TikTok was doing it by itself because we saw the shit that was happening. We were seeing how she was doing her interviews. She was, anytime that someone brought up domestic violence, she made a sassy, snarky comment. And she was basically just being an asshole in all these interviews, whereas Justin was just being a sweetheart. You can see whose team I'm on.
Wow.
You can absolutely see whose team I'm on. So then when the movie doesn't,
it's completely flipped from like, it's one of those things where the different narrative is crazy because I only saw a lot of anti Justin for the longest, and then I saw him countersuing.
Yes.
But
so she sues him. So she sues him because she's like, you sexually assaulted me. You were hitting on me. You were doing all these. You came in my trailer when I was breastfeeding. You were like all on top of me. You were sending me sexual photos. Literally does all of this, breaks it down and is like, I am suing you for defamation. And not only that, I'm suing you because you started a smear campaign because everyone online was saying that I'm an asshole. Justin said, here's the fucking receipts. He sends over 150, like his case is over, it's just filled. It's filled with fucking documents basically slandering her. The breastfeeding incident, he got text messages saying, hey, can I come into your trailer? I want to talk about some stuff. She says, oh, I'm breastfeeding. He's like, I'll come back. She's like, no, come on in. It's okay. Open door policy. The photos of the nudity was a birthing scene of his wife that he showed her so that they could get into character, that he asked permission before he showed it to her. And she was like, yeah, absolutely. She tried to take that situation.
Oh, no.
Bruh, there are so many examples of this. It's just so anyway.
And like Ryan Reynolds and like her brother have been so going at him, and I just didn't. I was unaware of this.
So then the Deadpool of it all. So NICEPOOL, everyone is now, or Justin is now suing Disney, Ryan Reynolds, all of them, because apparently NICEPOOL was a parody of Justin. Because Deadpool or NICEPOOL makes comments talking about how, oh, I've got a woman positive podcast, just like Justin. Justin's signature is the man bun.
Oh,
Not only that, but Lady Deadpool, played by Blake Lively, kills NICEPOOL in front of a flower shop. Literally in front of a flower shop. Which was,
didn't the movies come out close together? So you telling me they put this?
They were marketed at the same. Yes, because when this shit was going raw, Ryan Reynolds started going on the press tours with Blake Lively to help her out. When I tell you the lore of this drama goes so, this is literally Johnny Depp and Amber Heard all over again.
See, I didn't want to say it, so I was just gonna wait until if you confirm that, because I was like, I remember that whole thing, and you know what, it makes me feel really sad about this, and I feel safe to say this with this explanation given to me. It really makes you worry, because it hinders people, it hinders the women who really need to be heard in these situations and who are going through something, and it really makes it to where, as a man, you just feel like your character can be completely destroyed, even because if he didn't have the receipts, like, we'd be having a whole different story.
Exactly. But the thing is, I think both of them did wrong. I think both
Right.
of them probably,
and two things can be true.
And two things can be true. I think both of them can have their feelings. Both of them probably did things the other didn't like. But for it to have gone this far, and for you, like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I absolutely think that, yes, NICEPOOL is just the Canadian version of Ryan Reynolds, but I absolutely think they also threw digs and jabs at Justin. It's just a little bit too familiar. It's too similar. I also believe that this could have been settled outside. Absolutely. But it just goes even deeper, because I don't know if you ever saw A Simple Plan. It was the Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively film. It was wonderful. It was based off of a book, but it's a really good film.
Yeah. I remember the two of them in a movie together, but I didn't know that.
Blew up. This movie is absolutely amazing. So much so that they made A Simple Plan 2. Now, this film is completely done, but no studio is going to buy it. No production, or like no house is buying it, because Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively don't fucking like each other. And so they won't, because of Blake's attitude. And I'm assuming, I'm not in the room with them, but I can only assume. But the rumor is that Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively don't fucking like each other. And so they have to do the marketing.
Type shit.
So since the marketing is where you make your money and bring in everyone, and because you already know that these two people will not be in the same room together during the marketing, no one is buying this movie. And it's so frustrating, because this movie that is so wonderful and that everyone has been waiting for is about to be shelved. And so partly the director is like, oh, is it because of all the drama with Blake? And he's like, no, it's not. It's
never.
not.
Absolutely not.
We just put up the movie when we want to put up the movie. But it's like, bruv, come on. Spade a spade. It's just, there's too many. And plus, my biggest fucking beef, and mind you, I'm watching Gossip Girl all the time, but my biggest grievance with Blake Lively is bitch got married on a plantation. Bitch got married on a plantation.
I didn't know this.
Yes, her and Ryan Reynolds got married on a plantation.
Ryan,
I give a slight pass because he's Canadian. Maybe he just doesn't know all the.
You know what? All right, cool. Yeah, we'll give it to you.
Maybe, but Blake, this American ass Blake Lively got married on a goddamn plantation, and I'm just like, are we surprised? Are we surprised by this beef and drama? This girl, she just doesn't care. She just doesn't care.
That's crazy. Nah, I feel that is way deeper than I thought it was.
Oh, it goes so much more that I haven't even talked about. Like, it's just, it's
my
so
God.
The premiere of It Ends With Us, Justin's family, there's photos of him. He had to be in the basement. He wasn't allowed upstairs, and his family wasn't allowed to be upstairs with everyone. He was at the premiere of his own movie that he wanted to build and direct. He was in the basement for. And the last big fucking tidbit, that wasn't even the movie he made. By the end of it, the movie that was released in theaters was edited and cut by Blake Lively. The editors of the film could not even see the film. She edited it, and the editors were like, well, we don't even want to show you, Justin, because this is not the movie that we cut. This is not the movie that we made together. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. I just want the movie out there. I don't care. We'll just do her version. So there is a version out there of this film that Justin filmed and edited that may never see the light of day. And
we're in a weird time in 2025.
Yes.
I know this was all 2024 leading into now, but we're in strange times.
Man.
This timeline is very strange. We've gone over a lot of things. That is very similar to just how you can see people mobilize a platform to take another creator down. You get to use your money to completely change the vision of someone's movie to the point that their version of the movie exists. So you mean to tell me we have a Justin cut?
Yes, there is a Justin cut somewhere out there. There's a Justin cut of his movie of the way that he wanted to do it. I feel like somewhere, but I'm just like, but then I watch this and I'm like, this is what I'm gathering, and this is the impressions that I've gotten from this. But I'm going to be in that court case neutral, because when all of the lawyers come in, when everyone comes in with all the receipts, I'm interested to see what the truth of everything is.
Right.
But I mean, all of the cases are out there. They're public knowledge. You can go and read all of this, and you can see all of the receipts from both sides. And I'm just like, I don't know.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
But it's crazy. It's crazy that this is now how we all, like, this is our entertainment. It's who's taking who down this week. First it was Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and you know there's going to be a Lifetime movie about all this drama.
Absolutely. Netflix documentary.
100%. Because we had the P. Diddy one that came out real quick.
Bro, why is the P. Diddy one already out? We ain't even that. Guys, this is why you need to come and watch Wholesome Entertainment with Amor Unfiltered, because we'll be very civil. I don't got the money for lawyers, so I'm not gonna lie. I don't really have time to be suing you or Adam over anything. I'm gonna just be like, hey,
you good. You live your life, bestie. You go ahead.
But no, we just here to talk about movies and pop culture, and I really enjoy doing this with my friends for real. So it's a lot of fun.
We've been in this bitch for a while.
Subscribe to Jasmine Paige Moore's channel, and let's boost this podcast up so we can have wholesome entertainment again. Because we need new platforms, because TikTok might not be the same. Instagram, the Mark Zuckerberg's talking about removing fact checking and bending the knee.
I love that you still call it Twitter. I was talking to my dad the other day, and he kept saying
calling that shit X.
I was like, what is that? What is X? He was like, what do you think it is? I was like, are you talking about Twitter? He's like, nah, I live in 2025. I live in America when everything is named what it actually is, and it's
Twitter. Her mama named her Twitter.
Her mama named her Twitter, and
I don't care what her stepdaddy want to change the name to.
Kinte, you will not change it.
It is not Toby.
It's not Toby. Not Toby.
But yeah. We'll be, we'll see what happens, because Trump could get in office today and then be like, never mind.
As of 30 or an hour ago, this man is in office. My God.
Notice we were here recording this, not watching that inauguration, because fuck him.
And Carrie Underwood too. Come on now.
Rascal Flatts.
All of them.
Life is a highway.
Was that a shock to you? The Rascal Flatts was a shock?
Carrie Underwood was. Did you see where people were like, I hope he cheats again? Yes. That's crazy.
People were getting in. All right, guys. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Follow both of us on our own channels. Follow Adam too, even though he's not here. We love you guys, and we will see you, I guess, for Invincible. Probably.
Yep.
Awesome, friends.
Bye.
Spider-Man. We'll see you for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Bye.